Well, I'm getting some sort of error trying to bring up the bracket for this tournament. So we're back for another match in the ViP4 World Straight Pool Championships, a one-loss side match between MvClarky and Sergeresh. Room should be going up any second. This bloody thing won't load. We'll try it this method. Race to 150, lag for break. Tablecloth should be the right colour. There we go, room's up, let's get in.
Semi-prop 4. Oi.
Semi-prop 4. If this little half-wit comes in, we'll just kill the text-to-speech. She was in, or he or she was in earlier on today while I was doing my truck driving, and luckily I didn't have it activated and they could type all they wanted. It didn't make any nuisance. Right, here we go. I was wanting to have a look at the bracket before we started, but it won't happen. So again, I haven't a clue who's who here. I don't know who's Q's what, but here we go for the lag. There's been a couple of results updated on the bracket, which when we get a minute or two we'll have a look, just to refresh our memories. Well, top one's obviously won the lag, and MvClarky's going to put Sergeresh in to break off. Let's see if they've worked out anything as far as a break goes. Now, where's Sergeresh from? Sergeresh, according to that, is Belarus. Good evening, everybody. And of course, the traditional break, you've got a very slim chance of keeping everything safe, so Sergeresh hasn't been doing any homework. MvClarky in with first chance. I noticed, I mean, the Masters tournament starts this weekend. It starts on Sunday, the Snooker Masters, but there's some sort of snooker tournament going on at the moment. It was live on YouTube, and I still don't know where the hell it's been played, but I mean, it was Stuart Bingham and who else was on it? I can't remember, but there's been live stream all afternoon for some sort of snooker tournament, whatever the hell it is. I wouldn't imagine it's some sort of group stage for whatever it is. So MvClarky getting into the balls, trying to improve the situation, which he has done slightly. Charlie Bravo joined me in the stream today under the pseudonym of Mr. M. He's just arrived into the room, and somebody could invite him into the stream if they want.
Semi-Prof 4. How's everyone?
Well, there's only you and Larry here, Semi-Pro and me, so I'm getting tired already. I'm on shutdown mode, ready for bed. So hopefully this doesn't take much more than 90 minutes. Chance to nudge the top of those two balls there if he wants as well. And even that little nudge is not bad, because he can take the 9 if that's the 9. What ball is it? Or it's the 13. He can take that 13 and it opens the 9, and then if he gets rid of the 9, that opens the 2. But if he gets rid of the 9 and the 3 and the 2, that's everything out the triangle. He's going to have to go with the 12 ball or the 7.
Semi-Prof 4. This match is 3 hours long.
No,
smiley face.
It definitely won't be as long as that. Well, there's a bad miss. That is not a difficult 2 ball, and that's a poor shot by MvClarky. And well, it's like I keep saying, you've got to score more than that if you're going to make any impact in this tournament. And these 7 points are going to dwindle away fairly rapidly here. Let's see if that bracket's finally... Oh, that tournament page is loaded.
Semi-Prof 4. I get Charles on here.
Let's have a look and see. Get that up on the screen. Well, one loss side, we've got Bedhead to play Mark Sharp, no time set. Tommy Hughes waiting in the winner of that. Now my bloody thing won't scroll. Snake Eyes is through to play the winner of this match. So that should be a good matchup as well, whoever gets through there. We've got Fast Eddie playing Fuldrish tomorrow afternoon, which I will be able to get at 2 PM in the afternoon. I'll be there for that one. And the winner of that will play LS3, and we've got Popman playing Dirty Harry tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get my dinner at that time, and that way I don't have to stream that one, because I know how that's going to go. And the winner of that will play Mr. Bill. And then we've got the match between Semi-Pro and Mooncake on Friday. What day is that? Saturday night at 7 PM. And that sounds like Sergeresh has ran out the rack. We'll go back to it in a second. We've got Cobra to play Stub on the winner's side, and we've got Larry to play Albinario, and that's about it. Right, so Sergeresh on a run of 8.
Semi-Prof 4. Saturday at 7 for me.
Yep, I'll be there for that one.
Mr. M. Hi. Semi-Prof 4.
Good evening.
Yo.
This isn't Eurotruck. These balls are not sitting too bad, apart from obviously the 4 that are there. 10 balls encroaching in the triangle as well, so there's a little bit of a helping nudge needed here from somewhere.
Potman 66. Evening.
Good evening, Potman. I actually like that text better because it's just plain and simple white text. It's much clearer just to be like that. Clear and simple.
Stefook 1158. Evening.
Good evening. They're all dropping in, all the latecomers. Well, what you missed is MvClarky won the lag. Put Sergeresh into break. It was just a standard break, so left a shot on for MvClarky. He got 7 balls, and then he missed an easy 2. And this is a result of MvClarky's miss. Sergeresh went on to
evening
to run the rack, and this is us into the second rack. Good evening, Albie. So any latecomers, this is one lost side, race to 150. We had a weird thing happen earlier on, by the way. I don't know whether any of you guys have ever heard of this happening. Stub was in it was a one pocket match, one pocket tournament. There was obviously only 2 in it, and it was Stub and Dirties that were in it, and they were having problems in the room, so I went into the room, and when I arrived, Stub was just sitting there ready to break. The cue stick was sitting in the middle, where the cue ball was, in the middle diamond at the kitchen end, obviously, but the cue wouldn't move. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that the room started, the 2 players were in, and with it being one pocket, Stub wasn't getting a message asking him to choose his pocket, so he couldn't choose a pocket. So I just asked him to break off and see what happened, and then I asked him to pot a ball and see what happened, and then I think according to Stub it came up saying it was Dirty's chance to shoot, and no points went on the board. So there was some sort of major bug happened there, because they basically ended up, they had to forfeit and I messaged Steve but got no reply. I messaged him again, got no reply. I then sent him an email and I've had no correspondence whatsoever, so I don't know what the outcome was, but I assume they both got a refund. But I wouldn't be entering any one pocket tournaments, not that there's that many, but there's certainly something that's bugged in the tournament system that happened today, and that was really weird. I mean, one pocket, the match starts and then it doesn't offer you a pocket to choose. What the hell are you supposed to do? And needless to say, Stubb wasn't pleased. In fact, first of all, Stubb wouldn't leave the bloody room. I asked the two players to leave the room, restart their ViP4 and come back in and see if it actually made any difference, but it didn't. Took 10 minutes for it to sink into Stubb to leave the room. That's what we're dealing with here. Anyway, with me talking and yapping, I don't know how Sergeresh missed because I was too busy talking. But anyway, Sergeresh's visit ends in 22, and MvClarky's
Mr. M.
not played a great
I
safety.
love the commentary, lol.
Not a good safety. He's left a cut or a bank on this 5. It's a bit tight though. I think I would square that up a wee bit for the bank. Yeah, I didn't like the line that he was choosing there.
11:58. I had a weird one. I was on break of 36 and snook each ball. After that it deducted off my break, but the total was right going up.
I had a weird one. I was on a break of 36 in snooker. Each ball after that it deducted off the break. So if you were in 36 and you potted a blue, it went down to 31. That's even weirder. There's strange things afoot here in this game. I think it's falling apart.
11:58. Yes.
And I bet you didn't message support to tell him. He needs to know about these things.
Stevefook 11:58. No.
Well, mind you, that I mean, I've told him 5 years ago or longer that there was a bug in, and everybody should know there's still a bug because you'll have had it happen to you in snooker. The touching ball bug. When there's a ball very close to a spot,
Semi-Prof 4.
and the colour gets respotted.
You need to change the title BTW.
Change what title? Have I left it in Eurotruck or something again? I'll do that after the thing's finished anyway. Aye, there's still the touching ball bug. It's never been fixed. I don't think he's even so much looked at it, but that just annoys me. When a ball gets respotted, a colour gets respotted, and there's a red near the pocket, near the spot, the ball will spot, but if it actually it shouldn't be spotted to touch that object ball, but it does get spotted to touch the object ball, and it calls it a touching ball, which it shouldn't do because it should never be touching the ball in the first place. If all the spots are occupied, the ball will go nearest its own spot in a direct line between it and the bottom cushion as we look, but Virtual Pool 4 isn't coded in such a way, and that's why it never gets fixed. So MvClarky has a chance to make amends here. Now what's he going to leave? Well, it's going to be more than likely the 2 ball. He's the wrong side of the 7, so if he's going to drop it into the middle, he's going to leave a long cut in this 12, which is, again, because you're too far away from the second last ball, it just makes it more difficult to get good on this 2 ball. He's got plenty of room to get there though. He's just overhit it a tad. He's about 9 or 10 inches too far to the left for comfort's sake here. Let's see my little doodles working. Yeah, he wanted to be sort of there at worst. Oh, he's a mile away with that. He never lined that up at all. I mean, he must have hit that about 6 or 7 inches from the actual jaw. That was hopeless.
Gloria Victus Jape. Rushed that one.
Well, I don't think even so much as turned his cue and turned his camera to have a look at the angle there. But then again, it's back to the same problem of getting that second last ball very good and close, so that it's so easy to get onto the break ball. And once that cue ball has to travel,
4488.
It can always cause
this
problems.
This is funny looking Euro Truck Sim. It does not look like mine HMM.
Yeah, I went in and changed all the titles. I might have not have saved it. Maybe that was the problem. I can't remember. I was just in a bit of a rush. But I can easily edit that after the thing's finished. Yeah, it's a bit disjointed, the start of this match. Nobody's got into any sort of rhythm. And there's
8 SECS Leaper. Ugh, this isn't Truck Sim. No one wants to watch this.
Yeah, well, I put it in there just to fool people so you could see how good Virtual Pool 4 is. Yesterday when I finished online, I hadn't seen the news all day, and then I was wondering what all the fuss was about, and then I see Trump's heavy mob had raided the was it the Senate building or whatever, climbing up the walls and entering the chamber and all sorts of crap going on. That's democracy in America for you. And I must admit, for security's sake, I would have thought about half a dozen or more folk would have been shot dead. Big security breach.
MR Shark 4488.
Yeah, the Capitol
building.
Yeah. I thought the machine guns would have been out and would have riddled them all. Well, this is something has to be worked on here, but if you look at the lay of the balls, they don't need to really move. The only problem is where the cue ball is. That's the immediate issue. Cue ball's in not a great position here, but if he can get rid of the 13, get rid of the 6, he can get to the 5.
MR Shark 4488. Trump has been a joke from day one.
Well, it's been officially announced anyway, hasn't it? That was why they were rioting, to prevent them actually.
If they were black, it would have been a high body count.
Well, that's exactly it, Larry. Had they been, if that been a whole mob of brothers, they would have shot. It would have been a bloodbath. More than likely, would have been. Yeah, if he gets rid of that, well, he can get rid of the 5 now that he's on it. Everything will go as long as he picks off the right balls. Now, the other thing now is he's got a 6 and an 11 ball that are ideal to work around. And if he pots the 6, he's going to run into the 11, so he doesn't want to do that. And it's his only option now because he can't pot anything else. He just wants. The other thing is, if he brushes through, he's going to have
Potman 66,
just a shot in the 4.
Who was planting the IDES? 8 SECS Leaper. The BLM people would have tried destroying property and burning the building down. There's a difference. Semi-Prof 4. 1-1 be better.
Well, the 11 ball is going to be it. Now again, he's going to either have to go with inside English just to come straight up in a line, or he's going to have to go 2 rails. So he's going up, and it needs to keep going to make that angle, but he's going further and further away. Yeah, he's going to have to dig into this to get it to stun across. And look at the cue ball. He's okay. Well, he's got 1 ball.
Gloria Victus Jape. Are you streaming Eddie and Foley tomorrow, Hugh?
Yeah, they're on at, are they not on in the afternoon, did I say? I think they're on at 2 p.m.
They found a truckload of Molotov cocktails.
Oh dear. Well, there you go.
1158. And pipe bombs.
There we go. Cue ball. Trying to get into the pack. Off it goes in its travels, and the same result as it usually is, in a pocket. So the lead is slender, 39 points to 17. But MvClarky can't get this pack open. Cue ball's in a similar position to it was a few minutes ago. He's in no great shape here whatsoever. Going to have to cut that 10 ball and maybe take a risk here if he can. Just let it run around and come around and try and run into the pack, because he's got nothing else from the angle that he's sitting at, so he might as well give it a run unless he's going to leave the 4 from distance. And this
Hotman 66.
This could all end quickly
Just
here.
as well they didn't use them, or there would have been carnage.
And now, how's the angle? Now he can run through with a bit of inside left just to come around and out for that 15, but he wants to be getting a higher in the 15 if he can, so that he can maybe pot it like this angle into that pocket and try and break them. So he needs to get up here. Well, he's trying another route. How good's that going to be? He's going to struggle to get much out of this, because the cue ball wants to stun past the pack. He might run into the 5. Yeah, he just didn't have enough to get there. But the shot would have been to come around the angle and leave it short and cut that into the middle.
Any idea if the woman was armed or not?
Oh, is this the woman that gets shot? I heard them saying a woman gets shot. Well, she must have been doing something bad if they felt they needed to shoot her. So the visit is 5. Has he called the 5 into the corner? Does he think he can get there?
Larry Jill.
No, you can't.
The video doesn't show, but she was going through a busted window. Stefook 1158. Crim sheet as long as her arm.
So, the wrong ball went into the opposite pocket, so that's a missed call. And MvClarky didn't get into that deficit, so
he has it 50. Evening.
Sergeresh has a chance to add to the total. Good evening, Has. So once again, the break ball could end up being the 3. The 8 ball's too much at the top of the pack
66.
to be ideal.
Yo 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 yo. Gloria Victus Jape. Chance for Serge to get a nice lead now.
Well, I think the combo into the middle is what to take right now, because you might not get any better position just to take one of these out. And if you can, leave that 5 ball adjacent to the 3, which is not bad where it is. If you're taking the 5 into that right middle pocket, that's much simpler to get on the 3 in a good position. So now, if you can just come round behind these, well, he's going inside to check it up the other side. either or, as long as you can get rid of them. And see, there's a problem here immediately. If he goes forward and comes around the corner for the 8 into the middle, well, he's seen it a different way again to what I'm thinking. Because there goes
Mr.
the 5
M.
ball.
She was actually a 14-year U.S. Air Force vet and unarmed.
But did they actually say why she was shot though? Has anybody made a statement, any official made a statement as to why? What's happening here? Why is he taking the 3 ball? Well, I don't think that's going to get much, is it? Let's have a look. That's going to struggle to get any joy as well. That's not the way. Again, those last 4 balls there were taken in the wrong order for my liking. It was not the way I would have done it to get to the break shot. And this will be lucky if it catches anything. And it's just going to be the safety. The run is going to end in 8, so MvClarky can breathe a sigh of relief because it could have developed, but once again, poor choice of shot. It's why runs don't build up. It's a big problem for a lot of the players in the tournament.
Yes, shouldn't have been shot, shouldn't have been incited to riot. Mr. M. It was a wild shot through a broken window. The VID is on BitChat.
Yeah, lots of players in the tournament are not making great choices for patterns to get to that last. It's always a critical stage to get to those last 2 balls, and there's quite a few are not giving it a much attention. And then this is why we've not got a lot more players contributing a lot more when they're getting visits. It's multiple visits of 10 and 12 rather than 3 and 4 visits at 50 and 60 odd. And with just a little bit more care and attention, they could probably do that. That's a good safety.
Mr. M. True.
So, Sergeresh, once again, just 3. So the object here, get the cue ball down onto that top rail as close as you can get it. And also, before you take your shot, MvClarky, have a look at the pack and see if anything's set.
Has he left combo?
There's nothing on.
MR Shark 4488. I think they arrested 52 of them.
Well, they'll just get a tiny fine and sent packing. I don't think they'll get jailed. There's no room in the jails for folk like that. Oh, Steve's woke up, I see.
5 YRS min.
Well, that's an awful lot of administrative costs just to jail somebody for 5 years and then they get out after 18 months. It's a bit pointless. Well, there was another opportunity there to get right down onto that rail, and he's under-hit it by 2 feet. Right now,
MR Shark 4488.
looking for something here.
Trump signed a law that they could get up to 10 years.
Well, there's nothing on there that's going to go clean onto anything there to make a combo, so you don't want to be enticed into trying to make a miracle combo here. Missed the pack on the way up. Loses a point, but no damage done. So MvClarky 22 points the deficit, looking to find a way to get into this match.
Gloria Victus J.
So both players
Serge
on one
on 3
foul.
fouls now, I think.
Well, I think they're both in one foul. Are they not? Have I missed one? Sergeresh is okay now. That's been wiped off the board. Got the ball to a rail. And of course now we've got a loose ball, which is a problem. But MvClarky can stun the 2 ball up the table. Well, he's trying to use the pack, but again, it was much easier to play the stun up the table than it was to try and cover everything. And I don't think he has. He's left the 9 on. But it's going to be a good shot though to make anything out of this visit. And that won't do it.
Master Power. You'll FCK.
Well, if you're brave enough, the shot is that. A big stun, left English, and down into the pack. You see,
Norfolk buses. Hi.
the big stun wasn't there. Sorry, I don't think the English was there. Norfolk buses. Well, that's an individual name, that one. Now, where did you pluck that name from? Norfolk buses. Good evening.
Semi-Prop 4. Homelander has arrived.
Well, that's good that it got to a rail, but it'd have been better if that ball was up the opposite end of the table. So here's a chance for Sergeresh to get there. Very thin. Well, very thin like that, with maybe a wee bit of English just to spin it up the table. If people aren't brave enough here to get that distance, you just got to get it very thin and get it up the table. And there's a perfect opportunity here to do that. A little feather off the 13, try and get it right
buses.
up into that corner pocket.
Well, I like buses and my vids are in Norfolk LMAO face with tears of joy. Semi-Prof 4. Told you this will last 3 hours.
Well, at least he's got the distance this time, which makes it a much more difficult safety shot for Sergeresh. Once again, little edge off the 4 ball, get it right up the table. A little brush off the 4. I wouldn't be going that way at all. That'd be the last thing in my mind, is to go to the side rail, because that's giving your opponent a chance to go up the table. See, this is just an invite to just do a little cut, a little skim and get up the table. But again, not brave enough to get it thin and have the pace to get the cue ball away. At some point something's going to end up getting set here. With nothing there at the moment. Now have a look at that at the top of the pack, and the cue ball scratched. Now that's going to go, that 10 ball and the 11. I think if you just hit it, or the 1, so no, tell that it's a 3. It's just looking at it's going at the jaw, but I think that'll go. Should be having a look at it. Yep, that goes. No. Well, it still goes. Somebody convinced me that doesn't go, because the 10 ball can get past the 13. And that has to go. Well, it won't go now, because that's the 4 ball blocking it. And that 7 and 14 don't go, because the 12 ball's blocking the 7. Oops, wrong bloody button. What the hell did I do there? Well, when did this match start? 8 o'clock. That's 35 minutes.
Semi-Prof 4. Potting that won't give any benefit though.
No, I mean the convoy's only going to give you a point, but it maybe give you a better chance to get a better safety. Well, MvClarky's going to take the bait this time. And the other problem is the cue ball is close to the rail, so he's going to have to dig into this, which makes it more difficult. He's managed to get a hit, but he's missed a major part of the shot, and that's potting the 4. So MvClarky's going to have to warm up fairly sharpish here.
Master Power. Another noob match. K.
Now, is there enough there to get there? I think they can get into the pack, and that's now opened everything up. And the 12 ball is sitting fairly nice, 10 ball sitting nice as well. 3 ball isn't handy there, 15's at the back of the pack, so there's stuff to work with here. But the 10 ball's gone.
4. Stub, you haven't been tested yet.
Oh, that's coming next. That is definitely coming next. Armageddon awaits you, Stub. No, Stub hasn't been playing anybody that's been good enough to take advantage of the chances they were given. But his next opponent will. No doubt about that.
Master Power. All you noobs will be destroyed.
You know, when you hear that voice, Stub actually sounds like Professor Stephen Hawking, where he just presses a certain amount of buttons to say a certain phrase each time. That's one of them. That's button number 1 on his iPad that he presses. Well, this is just going to catch the last 2 balls. Got to get the pot though. Cue ball running up the table. And there are balls available. Admittedly, everything's covering one another. I think the 3 ball would be the one to take right now, just to get that cue ball right in amongst those. This 8 ball's running up the table with the cue ball. That 3 ball was ideal just to put yourself in a spot. Whereas where it is now is absolutely nowhere. Not a good shot. Simple fact is you were staring right down the 3 ball and you put the cue ball right in amongst them. You've got a choice of balls. And this is not great. Having to play that one at distance. But they're all ideal now for potting. Nothing needs to be moved. If you run through in the 4 ball, you can get rid of the 3 because that's a blocking ball. It just obstructs access to the 14 and the 13, so that's what should be done there. Get rid of the 3. Immediately I look at this table, that's the one that's annoying me. That there is annoying me because it's sitting there and there's already
Master
been
Power.
2 opportunities to get rid of it. When you've had 2 opportunities to get rid of that 3 ball and then balls are running out, you might have a problem later on, and this 9 ball is too straight. Let's see how things work out with this 13 and 14, because if the 10 goes, it sat there as a combo, but that 3 ball should have gone 5 minutes ago, in my opinion. 3 ball can go again. This time the spin, taking the cue ball slightly back up the table into an ideal position to get rid of the 3. And now the 6 ball looks like the candidate, and the 2 ball is very adjacent to the 6, but it's not great to get on the 2 ball. That's the problem with that one. And now the 2 ball is probably going to remain, and he's going to have to resort to getting rid of the 6, which was the good break ball. Nope, he's deciding he's going to leave it, take the slightly more difficult cut, but got to get the pace right to come back across for one of these 2 balls. And now, of course, we've not got a really good adjacent ball to guarantee getting good on the 6, because you're going to run into the 13. We don't know where it's going to end up. And now the shot would be to come straight up the middle of the table as far as you dare to get that angle. Needs to keep going, and that will do it. So the lead now is building up. It's 45 lead for Sergeresh, and got a shot in the 7. So now it's the simple process of potting balls and putting points on the board, and that lead begins to build up, and that then means that when MvClarky comes to the table next time, he's got to be really on the ball. If he comes to the table the next time and just gets 5, forget it. He ain't going to get back into the match. And a run to 150 suddenly becomes quite a short run when you come to the table and you're 50, 60 odd behind, and you haven't made any contribution worth mention since the match started. He's got to get, as Stubb would say, he's got to fire up. It has to happen. It's all about producing the goods when it matters. And things are a bit untidy here. Now if that 3 ball goes clean, well, he's certainly going to run into the 10, but you're going to have the 5 as a backup. Well, he stunned it to leave the 5.
Master power. All you noobs will be nuclear blasted. K.
That's button number 3.
Potman 66. LOL. Now where's the cue ball going to end up here? Yeah. Semi-prof 4.
Well, he's got a backup.
Stubb, no offense, you wouldn't get past me. Smiley face.
Well, I was going to say he has a backup, but that 13 ball isn't in a great position where it, or is it the 13 or the 9? It's a 9. And then of course if he takes the 10,
Bedhead v Mark Shark playing now.
He's got nothing. Oh, the 2 of them started. Oh well. If this is not well, what we'll do is we'll drop in and have a look at it. See how it's going. Mark Shark's going to have to pull his socks up because he was extremely disappointing in his match, and this is threatening to peter out this run here.
Master power. U2 semi.
Can he punch that in at pit? Is he trying to cut it? Or? Yeah. So, well, there's a really ambitious cut in the 15 if he wants to take that on, but that's just for another point.
Larry Jl. Bedhead up 98 to 11.
Oh Jesus, that match must have started a while ago then. That's all but over. Bedhead must have had a decent run. Let's have a look. Where the hell is it?
Larry Jl. On 52 run.
Where are we? Where the hell is it? There it is. Let's nip in for a quick look. Oh, these balls are sitting very nice. Apart from the 7 ball.
Semi-Prof 4. Get head dangerous. Potman 66. WD Larry Jl.
There we go.
9 BALL curse.
It never fails.
He has it 50. LOL.
Well, I'm
1158.
I'm going to tell Bedhead
Well done, Hugh.
that was Larry's fault, because I wouldn't have went anywhere near the room if Larry hadn't mentioned that the match had started.
1158.
And it never fails. I blame you. Never fails. I just need to go in and they fall apart. Well, anyway, so much for that being a potential high run. We've killed that straight away. Well, Mark Shark. Well, this match is all but over if he doesn't get 40 or 50 here. And that's what we're talking about. You have to make an impact. Got to score. Yeah, my jinx curse is it's something I'm naturally born with.
Steve 1158.
I don't know how it happens.
Has Steve paid you, Hugh Scupper, the big breaks?
Well, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But as I say, I totally blame Larry. I would have been innocently watching that other match and wouldn't have been any the wiser this match was going on. And Larry told me, and I went into it, and then he tells me he's 98 up and a run of 51. And of course you come in and then wreck the run.
You has it 50. Go back to Sedge's run, Hugh, please.
So he has to roll through for this 7 ball and get rid of that 7 right now. And again, fatal mistake there. Should have got rid of the 7. Let's back in and have a look and see how this is going. Well, it's not going very well here for MvClarky. Sergeresh with a very healthy lead. And again, just small contributions that are all adding up. And MvClarky's way back in the distance here and he needs a visit. He seriously needs a visit. Well, this is an awkward cut, but it's the only shot on. Cue ball running away up the table, probably for the 2. But again, a mile out with the cut. And it's a lifeline for MvClarky. The visit ends in 8. But he doesn't want to be pushing the boat out. He wants to pick off what he can. You have to start from scratch. I don't think he can avoid running into the 8 and the 4. He'll probably hit the 15 as well. But it needs to be fairly gentle. Well, at least he's still got the backup of the 8 ball. It's going to be awkward though. Very awkward. Combo in the 6 and the 4. He can't really get to the 11, so it might well be back to the 8 ball. But if you cut that into that corner pocket, there's a lot of margin to cheat the pocket, as long as you just get it more or less on line with a just a reasonable pace. It's got to go in. Well, the 4 ball below the 12 is a blocking ball for those 2 balls, but now he's going to nudge into these, but he's actually sent them all to the bottom rail and made it worse. And now he's got nothing. And the worry here is that he can't really get this safe unless he just rolls in behind the 13, or does that, but he has to leave it safe though. I mean, that there is poor. I mean, he could have rolled in to the 1 and the 13. The only thing he would have been in danger of leaving might have been a combo on the 1 and the 10, but to play that and just leave it open is just another invitation to score some more points. So the visit for MvClarky was only 3, and it ain't good enough. There's nothing more frustrating in this game than you getting a visit and getting 3, your opponent comes in and gets another 10 or 12 onto the board. Well, this is going to have to be the 110 combo, I think, but even that is going to have to go off the rail. Well, he didn't risk it, but I thought that would have went. Just pushing that 1 into the rail onto the 10. Well, that's definitely got to go. But can he cut the 11 but clip the 13 at the same time? Yeah, he can. And now the shot has got to be to leave the angle in the 11. So come off the rail and come out and get high on the 11 to be able to get into those. And he's almost gone straight. This could scratch if he runs off the 10. Got to be careful here, or he's got to. Well, he's going to have to kick that in. That's an easy combo with a kick. But apart from that, he's probably not going to have much of a shot. Well, MvClarky's only in a run of 3. I think he would have been well worth going for the kick there, just to stay at the table. That kick wasn't difficult. But MvClarky just seems to want to go up in 3s, which is why he's stuck in 28. Well, the easy safety is the thin cut in the 1, or the thin cut in the 10 and just get distance again. More than likely going to leave a bank, which I don't think Sergeresh will be too upset if MvClarky took on a bank.
B11 TME. Hi folks.
Well, that's going to be the missed call, and then of course the 1 ball's at the head of the pack, so he's going to have to try and take the cut on the 1 maybe to get some sort of position on this 10. Good evening. MvClarky needs to be thinking on his feet here. He needs to get rid of the 1 to try and somehow get the cue ball around to have some sort of shot. Taking the 10 ball's not going to get him anywhere. Now if it bounces, well, the cut into the middle, the angle's there, cut into the middle, something like that. maybe that's not the ideal line. Well, I don't know what the hell he tried here, because that was not anywhere near any sort of line to get anywhere. And look at the 10 ball with ball in hand from the kitchen, and this is going from bad to worse. We've got a major crisis on here for MvClarky. It's falling apart, this. And why is Sergeresh playing this? That's not the way to play it, I don't think. You need to get further over to the right. Well, he's run through the pack and he's got a shot. I'd have been wanting a more solid hit.
Albin Haraldsson. Never seen MvClarky play this bad.
Well, you should have saw his first match. It was just as bad. That's why he ended up here. He wasn't any better in his first match. That's why he's in the one-loss side. But I mean, it really comes down to it when I say that even I could pop more than what MvClarky's got here. I mean, this is shockingly bad. It really is. I mean, the alarm bell should have been ringing a long while ago. He's 91-28 behind.
Albin Haraldsson.
He's gone up in threes.
I saw it. Even played in it.
And well, was it you who was playing? I've watched that many games. I can't remember who's playing who in this damn thing. No, it wasn't. It was Johnny Laris, was it not? No, it was Mr. Bill. Oh, that was MvClarky. In fact, no, he did better than I thought. He got 141.
Semi-Prop 4. There hasn't been many good matches, to be fair.
No. I just think that a lot of players have not been doing enough. They've not been putting enough thought into what they're doing, in all honesty. And I don't think their pattern play. I don't think they're thinking far enough ahead. That's another mistake they're making, because you have to be coming to the table with a route plan. As soon as you look at the lay of the balls when you come to the table, you should have at least 2 or 3 shots in your head of where you're going. If you don't have that and you're just mucking about, you ain't getting anywhere at the end of the day. You've got to try and construct something. If you don't have that idea every time you come to the table, that's why you're pottering about getting nothing. And then of course you've got to put in your mind into play what you're planning by moving that cue ball properly and getting there. So now we have a problem to be dealt with, and the problem is still there. That 6 and 14 are not really good where they are, but you can get rid of the 14. The 15 balls in the triangle. We've got a ball up the table which is not going to do any good up there, and we've got the 11, which is, well, the 11 ball is good as long as you can get either here on it or get here on it. That's where you want to be, in those areas, to give yourself that angle to get into the pack. And the easiest way to get good on that 15, on that whatever ball
Master
it was I
power.
mentioned,
B11U Newbor supposed to play the CS.
is to be running through to about there and playing your shot that way. Well, he's going from the opposite side, so this means the cue ball's got to do more. Now, can he stun this? He can. He's got the angle. Even if he goes to the inside rail, he's still going to have a far better shot than if he ends up out in the middle of the table dead straight. Well, he's left himself the first option that I showed, so he's gone outside to give it the cut, and this might need a wee bit of inside left, not a lot. And the cue ball's gone free. Can you see that? 7 comfortably. Doesn't matter, he's got the 1
Stephen Lee.
anyway.
I've just been on Twitch and can't find your channel. Have you deleted it?
No, my channel's there. And there are people on Twitch. So the channel's up and running. If you go to Twitch and type in 9ball.com, you'll find it. Yeah, we've got people watching on Twitch. I need to have a quick drink. I'm drying up here.
Chat. Twitch kicked me off. Master Power. By time, why are you not playing?
Oh, did it? That's... Well, because you were on Twitch anyway earlier on, Larry.
Stephen Lee.
Unless Twitch are having
Never
problems.
came up for me even though I was subscribed.
Well, I don't know what the hell's going on with Twitch then. YouTube's certainly working. We'll get plenty on YouTube. Well, need I say how important this visit is for MvClarky?
50. I'm on Twitch.
And now
Hotman 66.
it's threatening
Twitch
to all
is
go
okay
wrong
for me
again.
too. Chat. Yes, said I needed Time Machine to watch your channel.
Say that again. I needed Time Machine. Well, I don't know what MvClarky's going to do here because it's a big risk to take the 3 ball, but the only way you can get safe is to just bank that 3 down to the left hand rail before the middle pocket and keep the cue ball on the right hand side of the table. He's got the pot and he's got out, and that was a good semi-recovery shot to stay at the table. Now he's just got to get the pot here and run through. But again, the danger is that he's got to maybe take a risk to
Twitch
move
just
stuff
cut
as
off
well.
and said sorry. Unless you've got a time machine, that content is unavailable.
What the hell does that mean? That's got me totally bamboozled, that one. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean it's been hacked or something? I haven't the foggiest idea what that's talking about. Anyway.
Roll Cage 66. No sooner than I said Twitch booted me.
Right, we've now got a big problem for MvClarky. He's got nothing that's any good to him. He's got a cut in a 15.
Richard Jenkins.
It's going to give him nothing.
I was just on Twitch. Has.
That
Richard
needs to
Jenkins.
run into the 3 of them to
And
keep
it
it
done
safe.
that.
Well, the run ends in 15. It's safe. But MvClarky is still, what, 52 points behind. And this match can turn around if MvClarky in the next 3 or 4 visits is the one that's scoring and Sergeresh isn't getting much. That's the only way I think it's going to turn around, or MvClarky gets a good innings at some point, but it's got to happen. It's got to happen quickly. Sergeresh is 5 away from 3 figures, and that's not far to go in a race to 150.
Roll Cage 66. Roll Cage V has rings a bell, laughing face.
Well, he's tried to get into the pack there, and now he's ended up nothing. He should have just played for the 4. If he'd got low in the 4, he could have got into the pack. You've got to take what's available sometimes. And now, well, he's going to push the boat out big time by trying to take this one. And he's got it. He's got it. Another brave one to stay at the table. And this is where he takes the 12, the 10 ball. You've got to take that to just open them up. You might not get a better chance to get in the 10. Got to take it or drop through for the 10 and play the combo, but either or he has to get on it. Well, he's played the draw. He had the angle. And now there's a 10 ball up the table. And that 13 ball, he's going to get rid of that, because that last shot there has pushed the 10 into play. And if he then leaves the ball up the table, he's got a better chance now to get in this sort of parallel line that we want. Something like that or that. And he's going outside, well outside. The straighter you go, the worse it gets. But that is not bad, but he can't go forward. This is a shot you don't want to have top on this. And that's worked out very nice. He's got a simple combo down the rail. He doesn't need to worry about that. He can deal with that, simple enough. You don't need to get alarmed at those 2 balls there, even though that 9 balls off the rail, that's going to go in. So you can forget about that as long as you get on the 14. You can worry about that later on. The rest of these balls are all sitting there ripe for the picking, and these should all be MvClarky's balls. There's no way that Sergeresh should be coming back to the table in this rack. It's only going to be a really stupid, careless shot by MvClarky that's going to get him in trouble. Now I say you don't need to run into this 14 and 9. Well, he's actually improved the situation, because the little double kiss in the 14 has set it up even better. But it can remain there for the time being. Got to pick the rest of these off. Well, he's going to get rid of it now. And he should either be still on the 14 or the 3 or the 4. So get rid of the 4, get rid of the 13, get rid of the 3. If you get good on the 3, you go over to the rail, get rid of the 1. That should be the sort of logic. That's the way my mind's thinking. We've got 4 balls down here that need just to get out of the way, and then you can concentrate on the business part of the rack. That's all of those remaining balls above the 1 ball. Again, get rid of the 1 and drop in between the 4 and the 13 and get rid of them. Or is it the 11? It's the 11. It's all about working in the small areas, and the small areas down where this 3, the 4 and the 11 is. If he dealt with these in these last 3 or 4 shots, that bit done and dusted, and then your full focus is on where you are for the break ball and where you are for your second last ball. You still stuck the 1 in the rail. He could be leaving one of these as the break shot. This 11 ball could be the break shot. But the further he goes and the longer these balls sit here, the more worried I get. So the 1 ball might end up being the break ball, the 14 might end up being the break ball, and the 11 could end up being the break ball. So that now means if he takes the 14, he's got to get rid of the 4 and then get that 15 up the rail. Or get rid of the 11 and come back for the 15. The 7 ball isn't bad to be playing to get good on the 1. But that 1 ball, let's have a look at it for a break shot. That is frozen to the rail. Almost. Let's have a look. Well, I'm going to say that's on the rail. And if he finishes really square on this 1 ball for the break shot, this isn't going to be easy. That needs to bounce. I think he's going poker straight. Yeah, he's going to have to play this with bottom and right English to draw up the table and into the table. He's going top with spin to run forward, and now he's going to go dead straight. Not the shot. He had to, I mean, the shot to play there with that ball every day of the week was a bit of draw with bottom right kicks the cue ball that way, and then you've got the cut shot on the one down the rail and into the pack. But he's got away with it in some respects, that he's got a break shot, but I think there was an easier way to get there. He's got to cut the 8. It's tight. He's going to have to cut the 11. It's awkward. The 3, sorry. Not an awful lot of good balls to choose from here. But if you're in MvClarky's corner, it doesn't really matter how he's getting there. It's just simply about getting this deficit reduced and staying at the table and building up a little score. Well, he's got an angle in the 4. Does he want to risk going into them right now? There's not an awful lot to choose if he doesn't. He doesn't want to try and do anything spectacular off this 7 either. Now, what's it look like from this end? Well,
Mooncake. Evening.
If he rolls in the 4 and gets square on the 10, that 10 ball, that's a break shot to open them up. You roll in the 4 and finish here on the 10, get rid of that, and a little run into them to open it up. There's a shot staring you right in the face. That's a shot right there. Little roll through, go square in the 10, and then get into those. Well, he stunned it, and I don't know why. He can still do a similar shot off the 10 though, and come off that short rail, but he's going to get into the back end of them, which is never great. You go into the back end of them, you could end up in nothing. Good evening, Mooncake. Thank you for your donation.
Mooncake.
Much appreciated.
Hugh, got your money through my donation?
I certainly did. It is now resting in my bank account, and that is going to go towards my headset. Now, what's he got here? Has he still got a shot? Yes, he does. Now, well, the 11 ball is
Roll
a shot.
page 66. Evening space cake.
The 11 ball's a shot, and just get up that left hand side, and if you finish short in the 13, you can break those 2 balls. Again, he had the shot to do it off the 11, off the rail, up here, on the 13, break those 2, and he's refused it. Is he going to get another chance to get there? He can do it off the 9. If he go forward, go back up the table. But we're running out of options to deal with this problem. And now he's got a testy cut in the 11 because it's tight to go clean past that 9. And again, I don't necessarily agree with the pattern that he's chosen here, because he had the chance to get on that 13 ball and deal with the problem, and he's either not seen the problem or he thinks he can deal with it with another chance at some point. But again, he's running out of balls, and he's got an awkward cut to deal with here. Now, let's have a look at this shot. Well, I would be checking this with inside left just to make sure I come straight up the rail, straight up the table, and get there. That's where he should have been 5 minutes ago, right there on that spot. And now the problem can get dealt with. But he's leaving it later than he should have been. So we've now got the 2 at the head of the pack, which is no good. He's got the chance to drop off the 15 and leave this either again 2 choices, the cut into the corner and into the pack, or from the outside off the rail into the pack. And the shot more likely to play here would be the run, well, the stun off this 15, avoid the scratch and get on inside that 14 ball. Now why can't he draw across to here so that he can play this shot? Let's have a look at it from his end. Oh, that's a bit worrying when you look at it, because the scratch is on if you play that shot. Well, this is another problem simply by not getting good on that second last ball. Well, he's gone in and out, that'll do. And he's going to have to maybe come across 2 rails here. I don't think he can get this clean first time. He's got to go 2 rails. Oh, he's managed to do it. Loads of inside, and he's got a shot. The run goes to 35. It's beginning to take shape. It's not been what I would call semi-textbook, but it doesn't really matter. So he's got the 11, he's got a 10 up the table if he can see it. I don't think he can. He can. And he can play a little nudge if he wants right now. He's got to be on 11. The little angle he's got in the 10 can just allow him to nudge those balls, the 15 and the 13, and he'll be on the 11. And that little nudge is just enough. That's opened that 15 ball up. Now he could get the 11 and he could get the 1, the 4 and the 8 and get rid of them for the back of the pack. So now MvClarky is 14 behind, and this is just beginning to take shape for a half decent run to maybe even get himself not only right into the match but into the lead. And it's just come at the right time of asking. This is exactly what he needs to do. And what about that 12 ball and break those 3? Well, he's going to do it off the 8, but again he scratched. That's a disaster. Why didn't he take the 12? He had the angle on the 12. He could have broke those 3. He's let the cue ball run loose by trying to get into them for the back end, and of course he scratched. And commentators curse. It was shaping up to be a half decent run, and he's blown it in 39.
Come on, Serge. Got to hold it together now.
Well, that should never have happened if he'd played the bloody 12 ball. I don't know. I mean, are you guys seeing this any different from me? Why didn't he take the 12 and just nudge those? That was the safest shot, and he was perfect on it to do it. Why didn't he see that shot? Did he actually even look to see that the 12 went and where the cue ball was sitting? Because he may well have just shot himself right in the foot. And so MvClarky did not get back in level terms.
Stephen Lee. Tournament should be called Scratch Ball. Mooncake. Nope, he didn't minimize cue ball movement, and that 12 was the obvious choice.
Well, it was staring you in the face. Why didn't... I mean, that's what puzzles me about people. Why don't they see the obvious shot just to deal with a little problem. As soon as you get that chance, and you know that you can play the shot and you'll have another shot after it, why didn't he do it? Why did he go for a cut to nudge the ball from behind? And when you start running loose, if you don't get it right, like he didn't, lo and behold, the ball finds a pocket, and he's just, I mean, it's just all falling apart there on one shot, entirely the wrong shot. And what is the damage going to be? Because Sergeresh has got to 3 figures, sitting in prime position here with a good break ball.
Let's call it a learning moment.
Well, let's hope he watches that particular part of this video, and then maybe, well, depending how the match goes, he might want to explain why he played that shot and not the most obvious one. This is the one that always can go right or wrong, and he's gone a wee bit too far for comfort. It's just a wee bit too far. You always want to be playing that shot sort of like this, not from there. You've got a fair margin of error to still have a shot there.
A brain fart.
And there, well, MvClarky's prayers have been answered. Once again, having to go off rails to get to that final break ball is never a good shot. You don't want to be having to using rails. You want to be just playing a simple stun shot to leave that break ball. And when you start having to run it, you can always run into trouble. And he left in an awkward angle to make the cut. It needed to be a bit straighter in the middle of the table. And MvClarky now can make amends for the way his last video ended, because he's got a stack of balls here to choose from. He doesn't need to worry about the 2 and 4 at the moment. They can be left there, and all you want to do is just pick off what's here first, and as soon as you've got a chance, you can nudge that 2 and 4, because obviously none of them go. And Bedhead has comfortably come through his match, 150 points to 59 against Mark Shark.
Lust Soldier 3. Twitch saying your channel is suspended due to terms of service violation. Lust Soldier 3.
Is it?
Miasma's XXX link.
Well, I've had no email through from them. I'll need to find out what that's all about. Because nobody else has said that. I'll have a look as soon as this is finished.
Mooncake. Semi-pro, you still don't want to play a practice match?
That's got me bugged, that one.
Stephen Lee. Couldn't find his channel when I looked.
I was in my channel earlier on to set up the stream, and there was nothing come up then. There was nothing told me that my channel was shut down for whatever reason. I've had no email through from, or if I have, I haven't seen it. I'll look at that as soon as this is finished.
Haroldson. Too much political talk.
Bullshit. Christ, there's bloody loads of channels like that on there.
Mooncake. Twitch having technical issues at the moment.
Well, it's either technical issues or, I mean, what Larry was saying earlier on, and one of the other guys said I couldn't understand what they were talking about, but it wasn't saying anything about terms of service. Anyway, more important matters. MvClarky on a run of 6. cuts the 10 into the
Simon
middle.
Varley. Your channel looks fine on Twitch.
And Simon says it's working.
Restream.io. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Well, that message
Mark
didn't even come up in the
Stevens.
chat.
Yes, I needed a time machine or something.
So MvClarky is 14 points behind. Is he going to get, not only within touching distance, is he going to get there? Managed to nudge open the last two problem balls. 14 ball is in the pack, or in the triangle. It's 11 up the table, 2 balls in the bottom here. Now what would be the break ball? In this instance, the one shot would be to drop that 2 ball in, provided this 3 balls out the way, and leave the 12 as the break ball. That might be the way he's going to go about it, but he might be too straight in the 3. Yep, he's going to run into the 12. If he draw, well, he's trying to avoid running into it. So he's now got himself in a dilemma here, because he can't be potting the 11, because it's not easy, and he's going to have to rely on the 2 ball as the break shot. But he's low in the pack. Look at how it's actually behind the pack. It's not anywhere near good where it's sitting, and so he wants to get a good angle, and it's got to be a really firm stunt to get anything out of this pack. When he's got it and the cue ball's running down the table, he's okay, he's got a shot, and he's now got what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, he's got 10 balls here in the open that he can pick off and get himself into the lead. Now, even if you look ahead, later on in this rack, if that 13 ball disappears somewhere and
Simon Varley.
he finishes low.
I can't chat on your Twitch channel, but I can see the stream, but Mark can't see it at all.
If he can get low on the 14, that's one way of dealing with these 3 balls here. He could pot that 14 up the table and run into the 3 of them, because he's got balls here at the bottom of the table that could allow him to go into that 14, but he has to get rid of the 13 first. Now, if it says you can't chat on Twitch, is it not got the chat window up? I'm going to have to look at that. In fact, I won't look at it tonight because it's getting too late. I should be in bed. I'll look at it tomorrow when I get home from work.
Stephen Lee. Quite a few viewers tonight.
Well, by all accounts we won't have many in Twitch, from what's been said. Well, that 13 ball
Simon
still
Varley.
sitting there.
Yes, but does not let me press send. Chat. Window is up, can type but not send.
I don't
Simon
understand
Varley.
that.
I can type but can't send it.
Well, it must be a problem at Twitch's end then. It's never usually like that. Well, now he's run into them, and well, he's created another problem.
Mark Stevens. Twitch was okay. Simon Varley. Can't even see your stream now.
So, MvClarky
Simon Varley
is in the lead.
Sorry. Unless you've got a time machine, that content is unavailable.
You know, I think that's... I don't think my stream is probably set up properly.
Twitch got corona.
Because that's as if you're looking for a video that doesn't exist. It sounds as if Twitch hasn't set up properly. I think what I'm going to have to do for the next stream, I'm going to have to remove Twitch and re-add it to Restream to see if it just needs reset again or something. I think that's the problem. But we'll worry about that tomorrow.
Roll Cage 66. Copyright infringements, it said.
Well, I've had no notification through about it. And I don't know what the copyright's about, because it can't be in anything I've streamed.
Simon Varley.
It can't be in anything I've streamed
My
twice.
porn links infected it.
Because I'm sure it'll explain it in the email if I get one, what the problem is. Or if there's technical problems, I'm sure Twitch would let us know that as well. You would think they would at least be looking after their customers. Yeah, it's surprising that Miasma hasn't been on here since he posted his porn link and then blamed his brother. That's an easy get out clause. Well, MvClarky has, what was that run he had? 38 or whatever it was, and then scratch. Well, the run now goes to 27, and he's not got a break ball as such. He's got enough to nudge it, and he's left it really awkward. But he's got ball in hand because the cue ball's finished in a triangle. Now he can make a better job of it this time.
Chat.
Yeah, again.
Oh, that's what happened to him, was wondering.
He's left himself too straight with ball in hand. Why didn't he give himself a better angle to get into the pack? Crazy. You get ball in hand, you get every opportunity to give yourself the best angle you can to get into the pack, and he only nudged 2 balls out. And now he's going to have to play a big draw that might not get there because the angle on the 3's not good to be able to do that. He's managed to get there. Has he got a shot? I don't think so. I think he's got himself right in the mire here. And the runner 31. Well, he's got to be brave enough and go for the 8, because if he cuts the 8 in, he should be coming behind the pack, and he's playing a safety, which is probably the sensible shot to do. But I mean, why push the boat out when you've got yourself back in the match? He's probably played the right shot, but if he'd cut that 8, the cue ball could have gone that way and he would have had a shot in the 11 and the 2, but I think that was a wiser move. Don't be gifting points to your opponent at this stage in the match when you've got yourself back in it and got yourself in the lead. And now Sergeresh is the one that's going to push the boat out. This is a big risk, especially by nudging these balls at the bottom of the pack here, which he's going to do. Well, he's actually just drawn it. Now is MvClarky going to have a shot? Would you believe it? Would you believe it? He's got a cut in the 7. Now, can he see enough of that 7? It's hard to see with the 15 being the same colour. But that might be the only shot he has. He's got nothing else. I think he can. Oh, he can get to the 8. He can just get to the 8. It's tight, but he can get there. Well, now's the time to pick off what's there, and if you can get over to that right hand side as we look, that 7 ball goes. How does he get there where he can get the shot? and just disturb those 2 balls again by finishing squarish on it if he can. You should already have looked at that 7 ball. Well, he can cut the 7 now.
Semi-Prof 4. Who had phone call and Clarky back in it nice.
Must have been a long phone call. Now, is he going to risk the little kick? Nope. Well, it's getting to a dicey situation here, this rack. We've got the 14 ball right at the head of the pack.
Mark Stevens. Sex line K.
Well, that'll be a few quid's worth he spent there. Again, he's pushing the boat out to trying to disturb that off the wrong ball. He's getting a bit panicky with these 2 balls now. If he gets rid of the 14
Semi-Prof 4
and plays the
birthday phone call
and plays
smiley
the 1,
face.
he can get behind the 15 and get rid of the 15. Well, he's got the angle now on the 14
Mark
to
Stevens.
break those 2 balls. He's going
No,
to
he they
angle
call
off the
him
11.
K. Stephen Lee. Happy birthday.
So the panic is over. The 15 ball's in the pack though, and the 14 ball hasn't moved. And well, he's got to. Well, why is he not drawing off the 6 and playing the 5 and get up the table for the 14? Well, he's going to leave the 6 as a break ball now then. Got to leave it high. Well, that could have done with being
Mr.
out into the table a bit more.
Happy birthday.
It's going to be the flat back pack. He's caught the corner though, and the cue ball's going to scratch. Disaster. Once again, how many times have we seen it? It's always dangerous if you're running off that back of the pack. Caught the corner, run across the table, back across into the corner, and Sergeresh has got a chance to win the match, believe it or not. Might be a tall order, but he's got a start to get that deficit reduced, and then it's a run for the finishing line. Well, if this was a 4x400 metre hurdles race, then the third runner has just dropped to baton there, to use an athletics analogy. He's going to try and maybe stun this firm. Yeah, cue ball running loose again. It's come out okay, and everything's there. Well, it's anybody's match now. Who wants to win it most? Let's have a quick look at the situation here. Well, the 8 ball is prime. That's the one you want to be avoiding at all cost. And he's got a couple of good balls to get good on the 8 ball. So he has to have that in his mind right now, and how he's going to get there. So one of them's gone. That's the 6 ball. The 7 ball would have been another good ball. And that 11's still up the table. It could also be the ball, but he may well take it now. And then if he takes that, he's going to end up taking the 7 ball. So once again, he might end up having to go 2 rails to get good on the 8 ball, which again is not advisable. So a little soft draw, sort of stunny shot to come across for the 12, just over to the right hand side. But then he would be looking to go one rail just to come out into the table, and well, that's all. He's got that all wrong. He's played that as a stun rather than a soft stunny draw. He needed to dig into the cue ball to get that action, and now it's all gone pear-shaped. So that just was not executed correctly, that shot. And of course, look at where the cue ball's going to go now. It's going to go all round the houses here with this thin cut, and it's going to go where nobody knows. He's trying to play a bank. I thought he was trying to cut that. In the end, I don't really know what he tried. Well, this has to be overhit slightly. The angle that he's got here has to go that way and has to go there. Well, he's missed the 10. And is Sergeresh going to get it right this time? Got to get right into the cue ball to control it. It dragged all the pace off it. It's gone fairly straight again. He's going to have to thump this. And the cue ball's running loose, but I think he's okay. And he's got a shot. He's got an easy combo down the rail, and he's got the 14. Oh dear. Well, that was a major failure there. It was not a difficult combo. The problem might have been the distance, but MvClarky's been handed a lifeline, and I think he's away getting a coffee. I don't think he thought he'd be back at the table right now, which is why, oh, he's there. So MvClarky with a slender 4-point lead. Sergeresh's visit was only 2, and MvClarky's got to make the most of this. It's full focus time. Now if he runs through up the table and gets good in the 4, he can run into some balls if he wants, but I think he's going to end up dead straight again. Yep. And he has to be careful here. He might only have the 15 to go for. He needs to be careful. Well, he's looking at the 6, but I'd be taking that 4 and making sure I've got a shot in the 15 or come back for the 14. One of the two. Excuse me. Oh, what's happened here? He's still got the 15. Might be a little double kiss in the 10 though. Is he going to have a shot next? That's the question, because there's nothing on. He's got to get this right. This connection off this ball in the rail could leave him stone dead here. Well, it's worked out okay. He's still got the 10. He can get the 7. And now he's opened everything up. So he's in business here. And the lead is slender. But he's got about 3 furlongs to go. He's not quite at the crown of the bend yet. And where is the break shot? What's it going to be this time? The 11 ball again is right at the head of the pack. But again, it's not a great position.
What headset you getting, Hugh?
I'll tell you what I'm not getting. I'm not going to get another, what do you call them? I've had about 4 or 5, at least 4 or 5, what the hell do you call them again? Turtle Beach. And every single one of them I've snapped them. And of course the last headset was a Turtle Beach, and I stood in the bloody cable and snapped it. I don't know what I'll get. I've certainly, I mean, I've had every headset you could imagine. I've had the big fancy ones at 100 quid with bloody amplifiers and all sorts of things dangling out of them, and I'm just going to get something that's half decent and simple. This Logitech thing, I mean, this thing is donkey's years old. It's just, you know, it's not even over the ears. It's one of these ones with the you know, the wee PVC pads that's on them, but they just sit on my ears. They don't cup your ears, and it's so old, but it was all I could do to remember that I actually still had an emergency backup headset when I snapped those Turtle Beach ones. So this Logitech was, I think, one of the first headsets I'd bought. So this headset is at least 15 years old. It's got to be at least that. Well, MvClarky's got, well, like, he had a shot there until the cue ball spun off the rail. Once again, he's got nothing but a really awkward cut in the 6, and this is make or break time, because he's going to do some damage here. He's only 13 away, and it could be the match ball if he gets this cut. Because I think there's still enough balls on the table to win it at this visit, is there not? I haven't counted them. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, all the balls are there if he wants them. And then it goes. Now, excuse me, well, he's got a fairly straightforward cut up the rail for the 12. That will keep him at the table. He's got to be on the 15 or the 4. No worries there. And this is his chance to win the match. Well, he's took it into the middle. Bit tighter. As long as you're comfortable with that shot. Now would be the time to cut that 4 and just do a bit of disturbance.
Mooncake. Hugh, I'm having this Bayer Dynamic MMX300, it has mic attached. Highly recommended. Using it to give training at work, and for meetings.
That sounds like a German company, is it not? Bayer. Because Germans don't usually make shit. They usually make pretty good quality stuff. I mean, half the time, I mean, the other thing I was thinking of getting was one of those standalone mics. You know, the ones you see the proper streamers using. Because they're not that expensive. I mean, but it'd probably be expensive to get a really good one. But one of those, like like the broadcasters use, or you see them using in radio, it just sits in its wee pod, and it's quite a big. It looks like a big chunky thing.
Stephen Lee.
I was thinking of getting
German
one of them.
stuff is very good.
Yeah, well, Bayer sounds like a German company to me, and I mean, they don't make crap. They make good washing machines, top quality washing machines. They're not cheap, but they're bloody damn good washing machines. Although, dare I say it, that the company that makes the damn good washing machines also participated in the bloody gas chambers, but we won't go there. As many German companies did, which is why a lot of folk still boycott them. Anyway, more important matters. This match is over.
It is German indeed.
This match is over as long as he can pot that 7 and leave a shot in the 5. Well, it has been a good comeback from MvClarky, because he was dead and buried for most of this match until he eventually woke up. That's basically what's happened there. It's not been beautiful, it's not been artistic, but it's been workmanlike, and that's all you want to do at this stage in the tournament. You just want to stay in the tournament, and that's well done. It's been a bit of a struggle, but he's put some half decent contributions, you know, 39, 20 odd again, and that's taken him through by 150 points to 119. So before we say good night, let's just have an update here and see where we stand. That should update any second. We'll start from the top down on the one loss side. We've got Bedhead,
Mark Stevens,
now through to play
Thanks,
Tommy
Hugh.
U. I'll see you later, Mark. Good night.
THX Hugh,
We've got
Simon
Bedhead
Varley,
playing
thanks.
Tommy U. That'll be a good match. That'll be quite competitive, I would imagine, between the two of them. We've got Snake Eyes
MvClarky,
to play McClarky.
apologies about that.
Apologies about what? Oh, about the start of the match, yeah, you were, I mean, I'll give you a compliment, you were fairly shit at the start of the match, but you put it together when you had to. Okay, there was nothing spectacular, but that you don't have to be spectacular just to stay in the tournament, and you got a lot more consistent, albeit not some of the shots you were playing, some of the chances you had to deal with problems.
MC_Clarky,
Maybe left him a wee bit
I was
late.
struggling to see anything at one point.
But you got the job done. We've got Fast Eddie Fuldrish tomorrow afternoon, I believe, at 2 PM. In fact, I'll tell you something, I've just realised I won't get that match tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm on until 2 PM. I forgot about that. So I won't go home until about 3, so I'll miss that match. It just came into my mind there. Forgot all about it.
Mr. M, thanks for the stream.
Yep, you're welcome. LS3 is going to play the winner of that match, and then further down we've got the Popman match tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and the winner plays Mr. Bill. And no change on the winner's side. We've got the match on Saturday night between Semi-Pro and Mooncake. That's one to look forward to, and the winner of that match will go through to play Hazard. And then we have
Simon Varley,
Stubb
Hugh,
to play Cobra, and Larry to play Albinario, and that is it. Yes, Simon, I'm going to have a quick look at Twitch in a minute once I'm finished
Simon
here.
Varley, your Twitch, the broadcaster has indicated that this channel is intended for mature audiences.
Yeah, aye, you say okay to that and then you can watch the stream. That's in case there's any expletives. I'll say that again. In case there's any expletives, I've had that up for a long while. You just have to click confirm and then you're okay. Right, anyway guys, it's time for bed.
Roll Cage 66. Cheers, Hugh GM.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, good night to you. Keep your distance, wear your mask and whatever else, and as you're all under level 4 or 5 or wherever you are in the UK,
Simon Varley, just making sure.
Just behave.
Simon Varley, good night, Hugh.
Right guys, I'll see you later. It's time for bed, so good night. And as I say, unfortunately I won't get that match tomorrow, but we've got Semi-Pro Mooncake Saturday night. I'll be there, hope you can join us. So till then,